Well guys, it looks like it's finally happening. It seems Quaxwell is finally going to evolve. There are no guarantees as usual, but the stage for it to happen couldn't be set more perfectly. In episode 125, Quaxwell lost to Arboliva, and he didn't just lose, he really didn't get to do much, forcing Dot to rely on Tinkaton and Goldengo to secure the win. This defeat clearly left a mark that he and Dot carried into episode 127, where they tried to prove that loss was just a fluke, that they can bounce back, that they are strong enough. Unfortunately though, they just ended up losing again, this time to Penny. And this loss hit even harder because it wasn't just about power, it wasn't just about we are not strong enough. Penny did them absolutely dirty. She deliberately targeted Tinkaton and Goldengo to force Quaxwell into taking a hit to protect them. This is ultimately what led to his demise. It was ruthless and underhanded. Now yes, Penny justified it by saying the explorers won't play fair either, which is true, but emotionally, this was utterly brutal and ruthless. For Dot especially, this was a direct hit to her confidence. She prides herself on being strategic, on thinking ahead, on seeing every possibility, and yet she didn't see that one coming. She was blindsided. This defeat makes her decide to drop out of the list of trainers who will wield the Terastal in the final battle. Not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. She doesn't want to be the weak link. She doesn't want to risk failing or falling short when the stakes are so high. This is heavy, shocking, and it leads right into episode 128. The preview shows Dot studying Tera types, likely trying to figure out who can provide each one. This is her embracing the support role she said she would play after dropping out of the front lines. So she's still working in the background. She hasn't completely given up, especially because the preview also shows that Quaxwell will apparently train with Tinkaton and Goldengo. This clearly shows that Dot still wants to fight side by side with her friends. She just thinks she can't, which is why emotionally she is absolutely shaken. It's also possible that this is Quaxwell taking the initiative and choosing to train while Dot locks herself away to work on planning for the final battle ahead. Clearly, Quaxwell is in a better mental state than her. In any case, this is where Iono comes in. The moment I saw that she overheard Dot talking about stepping aside, I knew she wouldn't let that stand. Iono has been Dot's mentor for a while after all, and she's definitely not the type to sit back and watch her pupils spiral. And sure enough, the preview shows Iono and Bellybolt battling Dot and Quaxwell. Quaxwell looks exhausted, dirty, disheveled, and his hair is completely out of place. This is where things get really interesting. There's been a pattern forming with Quaxwell for a while now, and I don't think it's accidental. In episode 125, he lost to Arboliva because he was acting as a decoy, drawing attention to himself so Tinkaton could charge up Gigaton Hammer. He sacrificed himself for a teammate. He took one for the team. In episode 127, we see him training, trying to improve himself, but he stops to mediate a fight between Tinkaton and Goldengo over a berry. He slices it in half so they can share it. He puts his own training on hold for their sake. Later in the same episode, During the battle with Penny, he limits his movement to one side of the battlefield, so stray attacks won't hit his friends, and Penny exploits this, targeting them deliberately to force him to step in and take the hit. So he keeps losing because he keeps choosing to put others first. There's a clear theme here. Quaxwell isn't just kind, he feels responsible. He's Dot's first Pokemon. He's the older sibling, while Tinkaton and Goldengo are the younger ones. He's the mature one, the composed one, the peacekeeper, the one who keeps everything in order so Dot can focus on everything else. Now this isn't exactly new. We've actually seen this before when Quaxwell made sure that his far more energetic and mischievous siblings wouldn't interrupt Dot when she was streaming. He's always managing things in the background, and here's the irony. The Quaxley line is all about elegance, composure, cleanliness, perfectly styled hair, poise, presentation. Yet, in the battle against Penny, Quaxwell was left muddy, messy, and with his hair unkempt. All because he's too busy protecting others to protect himself. This contrast cannot be random. Ironically, he can only apply all the values and qualities he strives for when it comes to others, but not for himself. Unlike Hatterene, whose selflessness comes from the pure joy she gets from making others happy, Quaxwell is seemingly selfless because of duty, obligation, responsibility. He isn't stepping aside because he doesn't want to shine. He's stepping aside because he thinks he has to. And that's probably what has been holding him back. Maybe the reason he hasn't evolved yet isn't because Dot hasn't trained him enough. It's because he hasn't prioritized himself enough. Tinkaton evolved twice, Goldengo reached its final form, and Quaxwell has remained in the middle stage. Not because he lacks potential, but because he keeps putting that potential aside to the point that he hasn't felt like Dot's ace and main Pokemon for a while now. Now, to be fair, I don't feel that Dot is to blame for this, at least not entirely. She hasn't willingly neglected Quaxwell or failed him as a trainer. However, the fact that he has to shoulder so much of the burden is likely her fault for not taking on more of it herself to ease the weight on his shoulders. For not doing more for and to support him. Like, she totally could and should've withdrawn Tinkaton and Goldengo after they were hit the first time to prevent them from being in the way. But she didn't. Episode 128 feels like the moment where this internal conflict will finally reach its breaking point. Quaxwell looks at Dot in the preview like he's unsure of what to do. Does he protect his friends, assuming they will also cheer for him in this battle and they will once again be targeted to prove a point? Does he push forward? Does he focus on himself? Does he fulfill his duty, or should he fulfill the task at hand, which is to win? Dot is left looking dejected and conflicted. She doesn't know what the answer is. Maybe the lesson here isn't stop caring about others. Maybe it's you can't protect others properly if you never protect yourself or allow yourself to grow strong enough to protect both. As for Dot, the lesson for her will be to support Quaxwell better, to be a more observant trainer that can manage her Pokemon better, instead of leaving this responsibility mostly up to Quaxwell. If Quaxwell evolves here, it won't just be a power-up. It will be the resolution of this internal conflict. It'll be him realizing that stepping forward doesn't mean abandoning his friends. It means becoming strong enough that he doesn't have to sacrifice himself every time. And his evolution would simultaneously restore Dot's confidence. Because if she can draw out that next level from her partner, then she's not unworthy, she's not naive, she's not incapable, and she will also learn how she can personally be better going forward. Again, nothing in the preview guarantees that Quaxwell will indeed evolve, but considering the repeated losses, the emotional slump that both trainer and Pokemon find themselves in, the fact that Iono, Dot's mentor, will step in to personally push them towards realizing their potential and believing in themselves again, which also means she will be front and center to witness the moment her dear pupil takes a massive step forward, the fact that the title of the episode includes Step by Step, a clear reference to dancing, another part of the identity of the Quaxley line, and Dot and Quaxwell, which obviously means that they will not only be the stars of the episode, but that they will also accomplish something big. The symbolism of having a Pokemon that is normally so focused on being clean and well kept, suddenly finding himself ending up dirty and messy repeatedly because he's unable to protect both himself and others, and the obvious pattern of self-sacrifice that keeps holding him back. It definitely feels like evolution is inevitable. I cannot think of a better stage than this. So, are we getting Quaquaval in this episode? I really do think that we will, and clearly, I'm not the only one. If Quaxwell evolves, then this will for sure be an exciting episode that I am very much looking forward to. If he doesn't, then this will still be an important episode because it should allow Dot and Quaxwell to get one step closer to Quaquaval. Of course, we will only know for sure what happens when the episode airs on February 20. Once it does, I will of course review it eventually, so please stay tuned for that. Also, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited for this episode? And will Quaxwell evolve? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, feel free to click the links on screen. And if you'd like to support the channel and help me keep making content like this, you can find all the ways to do so in the description and in the pinned comment. Whether it's through a small donation or just watching and sharing, every bit of support means the world to me. Thank you so very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.